Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. It is now 2021, and we are back for Season 4, Episode 1. I am Kyle Walker, and this is the Hitting the Wall podcast. Hey, everybody. So glad to be back with you. Happy New Year's. It is now 2021, as odd as that is to say. We are finally done with the, let's call it, interesting year of 2020. That's why I have on my New Year's shirt. 2020, 1 star, would not recommend. It was a hell of a year. Let's be real honest. So I'm glad you guys are with me. I'm sorry. Sorry. I get in trouble when I say I'm sorry, so I'm not supposed to apologize. I'm the host. I'm supposed to be able to do what I want. But I know we haven't been on the air for a while. I think September was our last aired show. And let me explain why. 2020 was awful. I don't have to tell you that. You all lived through it just like I did. There was nothing to talk about. The only two things to talk about were politics and the Rona. And honestly, by the time September rolled around, I didn't want to do either of those things. I didn't want to talk politics, and I didn't want to talk about the Rona. So we just kind of packed the show in, and we're hoping for a better year. But it's the start of a new year. This is where we all make our glorious resolutions that we will all stick to throughout the entire calendar year. And so we are back with a new season of the Hitting the Wall podcast. Yay! Hopefully you still remember that we do this and you are actually still wanting to watch. Whoa, I just knocked my microphone down. I'm talking with my hands. I'm very animated. So anyway, I hope you guys are off to a good start to the year. We're still very early into it, but I just kind of wanted to touch on 2020, kind of what went by. And again, not taking real sides on any of the issues, but let's just touch on it because honestly, so much happened in the span of a year. Like it's really amazing the things that happened, even though it felt like we couldn't do anything. Okay, so if you remember all the way back into January, we thought the worst thing that was going to happen was the helicopter accident that killed Kobe Bryant and his daughter and a bunch of other people. And then things just kind of got worse and worse. So, of course, the story in 2020 and even still now is the coronavirus, which is still going at the recording of this show. It's still an issue, still a thing. Mask mandates are still in place. We're still supposed to social distance. Restaurants are struggling. Restaurants are closing at an alarming rate. Things haven't exactly gotten better just because we flipped the calendar. If only it were that simple. But it's not. So we're still fighting this battle of the coronavirus. Now there is a vaccine. It's out. It's still being given to very select individuals. Not exactly sure. I think they said maybe June of 2021 is when it will be available to all. I imagine it will probably be sooner than that. But here's hoping. If you are in the healthcare field, you've already received the vaccine, I definitely wish you nothing but the best of luck with that. Hopefully no ill effects, nothing that they didn't foresee, and we can start to maybe slowly get things back to normal. But let's be honest, there has just been huge divide in our country, as if we needed more, over the coronavirus, the way to treat it, the way to handle it, mask mandates, vaccines, lockdowns, all of it. And really, we've done a wonderful job of continuing the already gigantic rift that has developed into this country. And I said it on previous shows, going back to last year. If you feel one way or another about everything that's going on, that's great. All right, that's super duper. But we really need to stop just lambasting each other when we don't agree. Okay, we've gotten to the point where disagreements are differing of opinions. People now are taking that as hate. Like if we disagree, I must hate you or you must hate me. That's not the case. We are allowed to disagree. We are allowed to feel differently than our fellow man or our fellow woman. Okay, that translates over to politics too. And I know. What a fun ride that's been. Said no one ever. All right, the political season was every bit the disaster that we all saw it to be. Okay, you knew back in January of 2020, we were staring down the barrel of an election cycle, and you knew with the folks involved, how bad it was going to be, and it was every bit that bad. So again, between coronavirus and between election, the division within the country has never been bigger. And again, I don't want to get real political here. It's not my intent, but I want to say things to both sides that are kind of just on my mind. You might disagree with them. You might agree with them. I'm going to try and put them as politely and delicately as possible. But again, if you disagree with me, that does not mean that I hate you. It doesn't mean that you should hate me. It means that we don't agree, and that's okay. So look, first I'm going to talk to the people on the left, okay? People on the left, not all of you. We'll say the extreme left. For 4 years, you screamed a guy wasn't your president, okay? That's true. That's true. Hashtag not my president. For 4 years, you didn't like the orange man. Orange man bad. I get it. But the moment that your guy wins, you can't start suddenly screaming for unity and then expecting it just boom. Okay, we all love each other again. If you want the unity, if you want to bring people together, as Grandpa Joe says, you need to lead by example. Saying that you're going to make a hit list of Trump supporters is not going to win you any friends, okay? You need to lead by example. You need to show the unity first. You just want everyone to be unified now. Okay, unity now. You know, kind of like in Seinfeld, serenity now, unity now. Doesn't work that way. Going to take a little more effort. Folks on the right of things, I'm pointing to my right, probably looks left to your screen. It's done, y'all. It's over. All right, Trump didn't win. Let's be real honest. Yes, you can say there was voter fraud. There absolutely was voter fraud. There's voter fraud in every election ever. Fact. That's how it is. Okay. It's done. It's over. You need to start the transition. And this is what happens. This is American politics. We'll spend a little time with the Democratic president. People don't like him. We'll spend the time with the Republican president. People don't like him. We go back to the Democratic president. People don't like him. And guess what? In 4 or 8 years, we're going to go back to the Republican president because people don't like the other one. That's how we do. That's just how we do. So look, yes, for 4 years, the other side screamed that wasn't your president, and it kind of pissed you off. And I understand. I get that. Again, while I think they need to start showing the unity, we have to be receptive to it over on the right. Y'all got to be receptive to, if they show the unity, you have to respond to it in a positive manner. So both sides really have a long way to go to try and come together. Will it ever actually happen? Probably not. Probably not. I think we've reached a point in the U.S. where division only is going to get wider and not closer together. As sad as that is to say, there's a lot of factors that go into it. And I don't think I'm going to touch on all those because that's a different show for a different day. But I think both sides really need to take long looks at themselves and figure out how it is they can maybe extend the olive branch, reach out. You know, I was just having a talk with someone today, and I'm going to throw this person under the bus, not by name though. And I found it funny. I just found it funny. Okay, I've made no bones about where my political leanings have been. Okay, I'm a little on the right of center, little on the other side. And so it was funny because this person was talking about Trump supporters and how, a Trump supporter, kind of hint, hint, wink, wink, they all act a fool, or they're all dumb as hell, or they're all racist, or they're all xenophobic, or they're all whatever. And it made me chuckle because, well, I did vote for Trump. I don't consider myself one of the quote-unquote Trump supporters. You don't see me at the rallies. You don't see me at the conventions. You don't see me flying a MAGA flag or wearing the red hat. I just happen to politically agree with him a little more than the other guy or the other lady 4 years ago. But it's so funny because people now everyone just has to kind of take the person that disagrees with them and lump them into something that's kind of disparaging. It's Trump supporters, hint, hint, wink, wink, they should be wearing white hoods. And then on the other side, libtards, snowflakes, oh, they're all snowflakes. Oh, they're just so sensitive. And you have to find that little defining phrase to put on someone because they don't agree with you. Therefore, you have to knock them down a couple pegs by assigning them this characteristic. of being, a snowflake, and then all the characteristics that come with being a snowflake or being a Trump supporter, and all the stereotypical characteristics that come with Trump supporter. And really, let's be real honest, y'all. On both sides, none of that is going to equal let's be friends. None of that is going to be like, oh, snowflake, come here and give me a big hug. No, that's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So that's one of the biggest stories of 2020. Let's be honest right there. I kind of went from the coronavirus, which was made political, which totally took a political spin. Okay, so let's go through that. So coronavirus, the people on the left were the mask wearers, the stay homes, if the one death is too many crowd. Then the Republican side, the other side, was no masks ever, coronavirus doesn't exist, this was all created to cost Trump votes. Dude, all y'all, again, let people do people. Let you be you, let them be them. And if someone disagrees, the volley, the verbal jabs, and we've even seen the physical ones, just come flying across. Here's the thing. Let's talk about masks. Let's talk about masks right quick. And here, this is 100% where I stand on the whole mask thing, the whole mask discussion. Do masks stop the spread of coronavirus? I will sit here 100% and say I have no idea. I have seen people who say it does, and I have seen people who say it doesn't. I can look at a place like California that has the toughest mask laws in the world, and they also have the biggest spike of coronavirus going even right now. I look at that and I'd be like, well, if they're all wearing masks and they're all giving each other coronavirus, something doesn't add up here. But if I go to a business, if I go to a restaurant, if I go to get my hair cut, it would be lovely if I could get my hair cut, but heredity took care of that. If I go to a business owned by a person or a company, and they have mandated, you do not enter our business unless you are wearing a mask, you put your mask on. Stop sitting there trying to fight the system. I don't want to wear a mask. It's my constitution right. I don't have to wear a mask. Okay, that was never in the Constitution. Nowhere does it talk about masks. If a business says put it on to go in, put it on to go in. Good God, you're not so special that you can just ignore their rules. It is their company. It is maybe their building, their establishment. If they want you to wear a mask, you wear a mask. If you're outside or you're in your own car, if you don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. I don't care. Do your thing. When I go to see my daughter play soccer, they allow one parent, no siblings, everyone has to wear a mask. Okay. I leave my other daughter at home, I put my mask on, and I take my kid to play soccer. And voila, I have survived. Here I am in all my glory. So listen, everybody, just talking about the mask. If they want you to wear the mask, wear the mask. If you're at a place where it doesn't matter, do what you want, okay? Make your own decisions. But let's stop attacking each other over little pieces of paper that are hooked around our ears, okay? Everyone chill. Just chill. Oh my God, everybody calm down. Oh, we're so bent out of shape. So there's my opinion on masks. We've covered politics. The Rona was made political. Again, all things to keep us divided, all things to keep us apart. And I'm not telling you anything you don't know. We all know this. So that is basically the world we left behind in 2020. And no, things haven't really changed here in 2021. The Rona is still around. You still need to wear a mask if that's what a business wants you to do. Okay, but things are looking better. And we need to take this image of things looking better, because I think they are. And we need to start trying to make 2021 better than 2020. And here's how we do it. If you take everything wrong with 2020, and I don't just mean the coronavirus, and I don't just mean the presidential election. I mean, if you take your dislike of the other political party, if you take your dislike for the maskers or the anti-maskers, if you take all the things that made 2020 miserable and just bring them with you into 2021, you're just going to have another 2020. Nothing's actually going to change. Nothing, trust me, I'm the worst at this, but nothing actually changes because you flipped a calendar over and it now has a new year on it. Things don't actually change when that happens. That needs to be when you make the decision that you want to change something. Okay? Call it a resolution. I don't care. Call it whatever you like. Call it a goal. Call it a resolution. Call it something you hope to do. Call it a life change. Call it whatever. But nothing changes unless you change it. Okay, so if you want to, if your goal or your resolution is, I want to be happier in 2021. Okay, well then leave all the stuff in 2020 that ticked you off. Leave the hatred for the other political party, because honestly, you don't need it. It doesn't help you whatsoever to hate Republicans, and it doesn't help you whatsoever to hate Democrats. It's only a toll on you. Okay, you're not running for any kind of office if you're watching this show. If you are running for office and you're watching this show, we should talk. Maybe we can work out a sponsorship type thing. Ha ha ha. You're not running for anything, so quit letting your hatred for other people, come with you into the new year. Let it go. Leave it in 2020. Okay, because honestly, we're going to have a new president in 2020. I have no doubt. Let's be honest, dude won. You're going to have the new president. So if you're just going to take your rage and your hatred for the other side, you're not doing yourselves any favor. And then, however you feel about the coronavirus, you know what? Don't bring it with you into 2021. By now, things are established. Things are in place. I will never gladly or happily or voluntarily use the term new normal, because I don't agree with that whatsoever. But, this is where we are right now. I don't think we're going to be here much longer, but it's where we are right now. So if you still take the stuff that you got back in the spring of 2020 and you're bringing it into 2021, not going to do you any good. I know. Everyone, yes, we were supposed to be locked down for 15 days to flatten the curve. Here we are almost 300 days later, and we're still having huge spikes, big corona issues, and it's just all around terrible. But why is it all around terrible? Again, we're trying to speak honestly here, and you can honestly tell me to blow out my ass. I will understand completely. Let's speak honestly, though, about what it is that ticks us off about the corona, about the Rona. Why do we have such a problem with the Rona? Why do we have anti-maskers, and why do we have this, that's, and the others? Because we've been inconvenienced, right? We're being honest. You're going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to be honest with me. We've been inconvenienced. Yes, in today's day and times, if we want to go do something, we want to go do something. If I want to go to a Royals game and watch my team get beat for the 100th time in a row, I don't like it that someone says I can't do that. If I want to go to a movie theater and eat my weight in movie theater popcorn, I don't like that people said I can't do that. I don't like that they closed down the theaters. I don't like that they have reduced hours and that movies are going to streaming services. I want to go out. I want to go to bars. I want to go to restaurants. I don't want to wear my mask going in there. All of this inconveniences me. That's our problem with the coronavirus. We've been inconvenienced. And it is a little selfish on our part. Let's be honest. Look, if you've kept your health, even if you've been through the Rona, if you have kept your health, you're doing better than some. If you've kept your health, you're doing better than a lot of people, to be real honest. This virus has gotten around. My kids have had it. Their other household has had it. Friends have had it. Contributors to this show have had it. People have gone through it. If you haven't been through it, or you've been through it and come out just fine on the other end, you're doing well. So why on earth are you still going to be so angry about it? It's because you've been inconvenienced. I get it. The kids can't go to school, and trust me, that sucks. My kids need to be in the building. Okay, my youngest needs the social interaction. It's driving her nuts being at home. She's not doing well with it. My oldest is thriving. She's been doing great with the virtual learning, but I don't know what your kids are like. I don't know if they're social, if they like being at home, if they'd rather be at school, why I get the hiccups whenever I do a podcast. I don't know these things, but it's just how we are. So speaking of inconvenience, hiccups are terrible. So it's the inconvenience that I think has really got people bent out of shape. And honestly, take a long look. That's selfish. That's a little selfish on our part. I've seen it. I've seen it myself. The things I want to do and the places I want to go, I can't do and I can't go to because of the Rona. And so that's made me mad because it's inconvenienced me. Darn it, if I want to get on a plane and go to Las Vegas, I should be able to get on a plane and go to Las Vegas. And yes, I know that I could now, but then I'd have to wear my mask the whole time on the plane, and they make you wear the mask unless you're drinking something in Vegas. Vegas is kind of like a ghost town right now. Man, I just want to go have fun in Vegas. Okay. Can't do that right now. Put it on hold. We'll get around to it when this nonsense is over. Okay, and the last thing I want to hit on, I was recently reminded back at the beginning of December, again, still in 2020, I did an episode of the show last year where I talked about losing a friend to cancer. Okay, that was right at a year ago that I lost a dear, dear, dear friend to cancer. And I saw in the memory section of Facebook the memory part that the post that I put about just how much it hurt and how much I was going to miss her and how amazing a person she was. And you know how it is when you're reminded of something tragic, all those old feelings, the feelings that you felt at that time, they well up inside of you. Okay. And they really just, it's like you're going through the experience again, because all those emotions just come flooding back on you. And then I really thought to myself, okay, would I rather be inconvenienced by the Rona? Would I rather have been staying at home, not gone to Vegas, arguing over politics or having to watch political crap on TV because it's never uplifting and it's not any fun? Would I rather do all that, or would I rather feel the way that I felt last year when my friend died? And I'm posing the question, but it's not even really a question. Sign me up. Sign me up for a lockdown. Sign me up to wear a mask the rest of my life. Sign me up for anything Rona related if I never have to feel as bad as I did last year after losing a dear, dear friend to cancer. And so that really turned around my thinking about 2020. Yeah, I'll make fun of it. I'll make fun of 2020. I'll wear the silly t-shirt and, I'll say, man, what a crappy year, because it was a crappy year. But I came through 2020 with my health, with the health of my kids, no huge life-changing issues. I didn't lose anybody. I didn't have nobody I knew that was really close to me suffered an untimely death. I don't even think I've known anyone personally that's been lost to the coronavirus. Honestly, I did okay, and I will continue to do okay. Like I'm not going to complain about 2020. It was a crappy year, yeah, but it could have been so much worse. It could have been as bad as the end of 2019 when I lost my friend. So nope, sign me up. I will take all the coronavirus if I never have to feel that bad again. So my goal for you in 2021, and even for myself, let's take the lessons we've learned in 2020. Let's take all the anger of the election and the anger of the coronavirus and the anger of being inconvenienced, and let's just leave it all last year. That's so last year. Leave it there. Move forward to 2021 with a good attitude, positive thoughts. We're going to go ahead and make this the best year that we can, knowing that it's still not going to be completely normal, but we can do so much better than we did in 2020. So that's where we're going to leave it tonight, all right? Please leave the negatives in 2020. You're going to have the same year if you bring them with you to 2021, and then you're going to be sitting here next January being like, well, 2021 was terrible. Well, why? Because you brought the same old crap from 2020. So don't do that. Don't do that, okay? Fair enough? All right, well, it is super good to be back. We're going to keep trying to roll these bad boys out, but here's what you can do to help me. I've told my production people this is make or break time. We're either going to succeed on this show or we're going to fail. And we're going to probably take until June to figure that out. So here we are in January 2021. We're going to go to June. We need the views to go up. We need the likes to go up. And honestly, 100% honest, I need the donations to increase a little bit because I'm still paying for this puppy out of pocket myself. Every month I have to pay it's not a lot, but there's a few bills that go along with being able to get your podcast out to a bunch of different places, and I'm paying them. So I really, the benchmark is, are there enough donations through our Patreon page that I'm not shelling out for this every month? If there are, we continue on. If it's still me, I'm going to say it was a great run and we're going to call it good in June. So it's up to you to help. So please go to www.hittingthewallpodcast.com. Click on our Patreon link. There will also be a link right down below here in the show, this episode. And again, $2 a month. if we got 10 people to do $2 a month, we would be sitting pretty. So that is what I'm going to ask you guys to do for me. So please donate if you feel called to do so. Like the show, share the show, comment. Let's have fun. Let's see what we can do here in 2021. We'll be back next week. We're going to try and get kind of away from current events and on to actual topics per episode. Okay, so like we did in the old days, if you are a longtime fan of the show, hopefully you are. Hopefully you're still a fan. Hopefully you can bring in more fans, and go team. So thank you. I am Kyle. This has been our Season 4, Episode 1 of Hitting the Wall. Good night, everybody.